Hope is a powerful thing. Some say it's a different breed of magic altogether. Hello and welcome everyone to your channel Lawpedia. This is me Jasmine, and in today's video we'll be covering a beautiful piece of legislation, that is your Mental Health Care Act 2017. So while I was going through and reading the act, I was able to make out that the act is a comprehensive legislation. Every aspect of the mental health care, whatever, from the treatment, from the medication, from what kind of doctors, from the definitions, everything is covered in the act. And the act also offers certain important rights that should be made available to a person who is suffering from any mental illness, just as we have for normal individuals. I have divided the video into certain important components, and we will be covering certain important sections which you must be aware about when you're reading the Mental Health Care Act 2017, which eventually came into force in the year 2018. This beautiful piece of legislation becomes even more important after 2020, jahan pe we saw a rise of mental health illness and mental health issues in our country. Also, I will be putting down the PDF of the act in the description box below, so that you can go ahead and read that as well. Let's quickly get started with the video. Now, firstly, healthcare, as we all know, encompasses a composite union of physical, spiritual, mental and social dimensions. So जब भी हम health की बात करते हैं, we are not only concerned with the physical aspect or the स्पिरिचुअल एस्पेक्ट. हेल्थ एक ऐसा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव टॉपिक है जहाँ पे नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट योर स्पिरिचुअल हेल्थ, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट योर मेंटल हेल्थ, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ यू फील, व्हाई यू फील, व्हेन आर यू फीलिंग दैट, एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स एज वेल. दैट्स व्हाई कहा जाता है दैट focus on your mental and spiritual well-being as well while you are focusing on your physical well-being. Now, the World Health Organization or the WHO recognizes that mental health and well-being are fundamental to quality of life, enabling people to experience life as meaningful, becoming creative and active citizens. So it's not me who's saying that, it's the World Health Organization now recognizing that mental health and well-being is very, very important while we are seeing or while we are experiencing life as human beings. It's not only physical health. World itna fast ho gaya hai that we have to cater to the mental and the spiritual health aspect as well. And mental health, as we all know, is significantly different from general health, and it certainly impacts our ability to make decisions. So if you're not functioning properly, our mind is not functioning properly in the normal balanced state, it will definitely impact our ability to make right decisions as well. That's why it has become important to now focus on your mental, spiritual aspect of health as well, while you are focusing on your physical or the normal basic health aspects. In instances, may we see that rarely when a person actually opens up to the family about having a mental health condition or feeling a certain way for a prolonged period of time, we sometimes observe that they do not get the requisite or the required family support or the family counseling. So that's why we need to make it a topic of discussion in each and every household, that they are aware about what is mental health, why is it happening, and what is the law aspect of the same. And no support from the families and rarely getting the adequate medical counseling and treatment may lead to severe consequences for the person as well as for the family members as well. Let's move forward. The introduction aspect. Now, let me first tell you this, that over 300 million people are estimated to suffer from depression. That is approximately 4.4% of the total world population. Now, with the existing inadequate infrastructure, the social stigma, and the other shortcomings surrounding this particular field, what the government could have done best is enact a legislation for the same. सो जहाँ की हम देखते हैं इंडिया का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नॉर्मल हेल्थ के लिए भी काफ़ी इनएडिक्वेट है, वहाँ पे मेंटल हेल्थ infrastructure is really suffering. So we do not have a proper infrastructure, proper professionals to treat some person suffering from the mental health ailments. Also there's a social notion associated with the same कि आप किसी को बताइए मत, don't share it, don't speak about it, and whatever you're feeling is just a temporary thing, you can probably fix it on your own. So ऐसा नहीं होता है, बहुत बारी जो कि आप फील कर रहे हैं, if it's for a prolonged period of time, you may need proper medical attention for the same. Our Mental Health Care Act was enacted and it revoked the earlier Mental Health Care Act 1987. So now this comprehensive legislation of 2017 provides for the persons who are suffering with mental illness with health care and services to protect their rights. So this is a comprehensive piece of legislation जो कि उन बंदों को जो कि mental illness से suffer कर रहे हैं उनको provide करता है health care and services and protect करता है उनकी कुछ crucial rights को. At the same time, the act focuses on right to live with dignity and by not being discriminated against or harassed. So at the same time, when you read the rights of the person suffering from mental illness which have been expressly stated in the act, you will understand कि act क्या कहता है कि even if some person is suffering from mental health condition, even if they are not at the best of their human existence, still आप उनकी तरफ एक normal attitude maintain करें. You do not discriminate them on the basis of any factor, and even that will go against our fundamental rights specified in the Constitution. What is mental health care really? So the act states that mental health care includes analysis and diagnosis of a person's mental health condition, treatment as well as care and rehabilitation of such person for his mental illness or suspected mental illness. So key areas हैं, it includes analysis, it includes diagnosis ताकि उनकी problem identify हो सके. Further, it includes the treatment, care and rehabilitation of the same. Now, if you read the section 2 of the act, section 2 provides various definitions such as who will be a caregiver, who is a clinical psychologist, what is informed consent, who is a medical practitioner, what is mental health care that we just discussed, that is specified in your section 2O, what is a mental illness, which we'll be discussing. What is mental illness? We just understood what is mental health care. Now it's important to understand what is mental illness. Now it has been defined in your section 2S of the Mental Health Care Act 2017 and it means, now I'll read it for you, a substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation or memory that grossly impairs judgment, behavior, capacity to recognize the reality or ability to meet the ordinary demands of life, mental conditions associated with the abuse of alcohol and drugs. Now definition ये भी बताती है that what all are not included in mental illness. Let's read. But does not include mental retardation, which is a condition of arrested or incomplete development of mind, specially characterized by subnormality of intelligence. So if there is incomplete development of mind or any other factor associated with the same, we'll not include that per se in the definition of mental illness, because वहाँ पे mental development ही completely नहीं हुआ है. If there's any other medical condition associated with the same due to which there has already been a compromise in development of the mind holistically by birth or maybe developed after that, that will not be included in your definition 2S of the act. Now, after that, we'll quickly move on to the very important aspect which you must be aware about when you're reading the Mental Health Care Act. So next important aspect जो कि we'll be covering in this video is rights of a person with mental illness. So these were certain interesting sections to read, that actually what all rights have been given to a person suffering with mental illness, and we must all be aware about the same. Firstly, the right to access mental health care. Now, section 18, if you read of the act, states that every person shall have a right to access mental health care and treatment from mental health services run funded by the government. Now when I'm talking about access, कौन से access के बारे में we are talking about? We are talking about access in the terms of affordable cost, good quality, geographically accessible, and at the same time हम कोई discrimination नहीं कर रहे हैं when we are talking about the access of mental health care. Now the second is right to community living. So section 19 talks about this. Section 19 ये कहता है that every person with mental illness shall have a right to live in, be part of, and not be segregated from society. So mental health illness का मतलब ये नहीं है that you are alienating the person. That should not happen. It is a community based society in which we are living, and the right to the same is also being given to the person who is suffering from a mental illness. And ये एक्ट ये भी बताता है that where relatives have abandoned a person who is suffering from mental health illness, the government shall provide support in terms of legal aid to facilitate the right to family home. Now we come to right to protection from cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment. कोई भी ऐसा बंदा जो कि mental health illness से सफ़र करता है, you cannot subject that person to cruel or inhuman treatment or a degrading treatment. This is not a problem that would be healed by alienating the person, rather than incorporating the person in the normal social life and simultaneously treating the person would be a solution for the same. And section 20 ये कहता है every person with mental illness shall have a right to live with dignity. And when we are talking about protection from cruel, inhuman treatment and right to live with dignity, हम क्या क्या include करेंगे? We'll include right to live in a safe and a hygienic environment, right to education, right to privacy, right to proper clothing, right to wholesome food, sanitation, and right to even follow their religious practices. And this would also include right to women's personal hygiene, adequate and providing adequate items for the same. So ये इतना वाइड एम्बिट है कि इतनी सारी राइट्स जो कि एक नॉर्मल इंडिविजुअल को भी अवेलेबल होती हैं वुड बी इक्वली गिवन टू अ पर्सन सफरिंग फ्रॉम मेंटल इलनेस. And यहाँ पे the act also states that such a person should not be forced to wear a uniform by the establishment, and the person should be protected from any form of physical, emotional, verbal or sexual abuse. Now, the next right is right to equality and non-discrimination. Now, section 21 of the act states that the person suffering from mental illness should be treated equal to the person who has a physical illness. So it's not such a different thing. अगर आपको कोई mental health issue है या problem है, it's just similar to having a physical problem and condition. So it's not such a different thing. It's just similar to a physical condition that you may have. And यहाँ पे भी कोई discrimination नहीं होना चाहिए on the basis of gender, sex, religion, caste, etc. of the persons who are suffering from mental illness. Also, they should be provided emergency facilities just as in case you will provide it to a normal person who is suffering from a physical issue or ailment. Now, next right is right to information. Now, this is section 22 that the person suffering from the mental illness as well as the nominated representative जो भी close हैं members हैं उनकी family के, they should be provided full information with respect to the provisions of the act कि क्या provisions हैं, what is the law applicable in the country and what is the nature of the treatment, what is the treatment plan, कोई side effects तो नहीं है. So ऐसी सब information आपको provide करनी होगी person को भी just in case they are able to understand as well as the nominated representative को भी. So next is right to confidentiality as a very normal right available to every citizen in general. It is also available to the person suffering from mental illness, and confidentiality with respect to the mental health care, the treatment, physical health, यानी कि ये सब information आप public में नहीं दे सकते. Any person who is suffering from mental illness, any person receiving a certain treatment and it's undergoing certain procedure, you cannot share the personal confidential information and the line of the treatment of the person. And यहाँ पे एक्ट कहता है that healthcare professionals shall also have a duty to keep all such information as confidential. Next is right to access medical records. Section 25 ये कहता है in general आपकी right होगी completely to access the medical records, all the information, details, and etc. However, the mental health care professional can hold this information or can not tell something about the medical records to the person if disclosure of the same would cause serious mental harm to the patient, or the disclosure may be responsible for the likelihood of harm to another person. So in general तो आप access कर सकेंगे. However, अगर medical health professional को ये लगता है that by disclosing the information, by giving you the access to medical records, कोई harm cause हो सकता है patient को या any other person related to the patient, then the access would be denied. Now the next is right to personal contacts and communication. Now, every person with mental illness admitted to a mental health care establishment shall have the right to refuse or receive visitors and to refuse or receive making phone calls to the same at reasonable time subject to the norms of such establishment. And next is right to legal aid. Now, section 27 ये कहता है that such persons would also be entitled to receive free legal service to exercise any of his or her rights given under the act. Very important. अगर हम rights दे रहे हैं तो उसकी access के लिए भी we must help them. So इसी में we have included right to legal aid as well, जो कि ये कहता है कि they are entitled to receive free legal aid. अगर कोई भी ऐसा बंदा एक्सरसाइज करना चाहता है अपनी कोई भी राइट अंडर द मेंटल हेल्थ केयर एक्ट 2017. So that's a very important provision. We are offering rights, we are offering the protection of rights as well. Now the matter is how it's implemented, but if you see how it's drafted really well. Now let's move forward. Now we are moving towards prohibited procedures. Now act में section 95 में कुछ ऐसे प्रोसीजर्स हैं जो कि प्रोहिबिटेड हैं, यानी कि द फॉलोइंग ट्रीटमेंट्स शैल नॉट बी परफॉर्म्ड ऑन एनी पर्सन विद मेंटल इलनेस. फर्स्टली, electroconvulsive therapy without the use of muscle relaxants or anesthesia. Next, electroconvulsive therapy for minors. Next is sterilization of men or women when such sterilization is intended as a treatment for mental illness. And lastly, chained in any manner or form whatsoever. So ये कुछ ऐसे prohibited procedures हैं जो कि act provide करता है that you cannot do on a person suffering from mental illness. Now यहाँ पे there's a confusing term which is electroconvulsive therapy, which is basically a procedure जहाँ पे to treat certain psychiatric conditions. This involves passing a carefully controlled electric current through the brain, which affects the brain activity and aims to relieve severe depressive and psychotic symptoms. So ये basically एक procedure है which you must have seen in various movies as well, जहाँ पे एक carefully controlled electric current pass होता है through the brain to relieve various symptoms associated with the mental illness. So उसी के regarding ये provision है that you cannot perform the same without the use of muscle relaxants. Let's quickly move forward to another very important, very important, I will say, provision, that is your decriminalization of suicide. We have already covered section 309 of the Indian Penal Code, which by the way still stays in the IPC, and of course after coming of the Mental Health Care Act, it certainly thoda sa dilute hua hai, certainly it has been impacted, but it's still very much a part of the Indian Penal Code. So I'll be tagging the same and aap wo bhi dekh sakte hain if you haven't watched that particular video. So now, Section 115 of the Mental Healthcare Act talks about presumption of severe stress in case of attempt to suicide. Now, ये क्या कहता है? This states that notwithstanding anything contained in Section 309 of the Indian Penal Code, any person who attempts to commit suicide shall be presumed, unless provided otherwise, to have severe stress and shall not be tried and punished under the said code. Now, ये important provision क्या करता है? This important provision decriminalizes suicide and states that कि unless otherwise कुछ और provided है, suicide के case में we'll presume that the person has taken that step in severe stress and the person shall not be tried or punished under the said code. Which code? Indian Penal Code under section 309. And इसी का subsection 215 का talks about the appropriate government shall have a duty to provide care, treatment and rehabilitation to a person having severe stress and who attempted to commit suicide to reduce the risk of recurrence of the attempt to commit suicide. Subsection 1 talks about decriminalization of suicide. Subsection 2 talks about treatment, care and rehabilitation. Now, यहाँ पे एक बहुत important aspect है. Now, this is a matter of debate that with the coming of the section 115, क्या suicide completely decriminalized हो गया है? And if it has been decriminalized, why is section 309 of the Indian Penal Code still there? And this is a factor of debate according to many experts. Now suicide has been completely decriminalized with the coming of section 115, but हमारे लिए यहाँ पे discussion आता है that section with the coming of section 115, but we are concerned here that यहाँ पे ये सिर्फ बात करता है only when the person is trying to commit suicide in a stressful condition shall he or she not be tried if the person survives. Now, what if there are certain other circumstances the person wants to commit suicide? Let's say any random act, कोई severe stress नहीं है. So what happens in that case? Will the person in that case still be not punishable according to section 115? So that is the point of debate as of now, and that's a point of confusion that we have to see. But that's the section 115 for you. Now, let's quickly move to another very important aspect, that is punishment. Now, section 108 of the Act states that any person who contravenes any of the provisions of this Act or any of the rules or regulation, first contravention पे he or she shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months and fine which may extend to 10,000 rupees, and or with both, and subsequent contravention पे the imprisonment may extend to 2 years or fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees or with both. So section 108 basically एक punishment provision है. कोई भी ऐसा person जो कि violate करता है any of the provisions that have been stated in the act, उनको क्या punishment दी जाएगी वो ही बताता है आपका section 108. Another important provision is your section 97, which I found while I was reading the act, जो कि बात करता है restraints and seclusion का. Now, a person with mental illness shall not be subjected to seclusion or solitary confinement, and where necessary, physical restraint may only be used to prevent imminent and immediate harm to the person concerned or authorized by psychiatrists in charge of the person's treatment. We want to heal them while they are living in the society. However, physical restraint हो सकता है to prevent imminent harm. अगर कोई ऐसा केस है जहाँ पे the patient may harm him or herself, in that case, physical restraint may be used. And secondly, in case it's authorized by the psychiatrist or the medical healthcare professional, वहाँ पे restraint and seclusion हो सकता है. Role of police officers. Section 100. Now, every officer in charge of a police station shall have a duty to take under protection any person found wandering within the limits of the police station whom the officer has reason to believe has mental illness and is incapable of taking care of himself. So, ऐसा कोई भी बंदा जो ऑफिसर इन चार्ज ऑफ पुलिस स्टेशन को लगता है सफरिंग फ्रॉम mental illness within the limits of the police station, पुलिस ऑफिसर की ड्यूटी होगी टू टेक सच अ पर्सन अंडर हिज or her protection, or to take under protection any person within the limits of the police station whom the officer has reason to believe to be a risk to himself or others by the reason of mental illness. So अगर कोई ऐसा भी बंदा ऑफिसर को दिखता है जो कि रिस्क हो सकता है सोसाइटी के लिए और फॉर द पर्सन हिमसेल्फ और हरसेल्फ, यानी कि वो खुद को ही हार्म कर रहा है या is harming someone else, पुलिस ऑफिसर की ड्यूटी हो जाती है to take under his or her protection such a person. Also, if you read the act ये भी कहता है the police officer in charge of a police station shall report to the magistrate if he has reason to believe that a mentally ill person is being ill-treated or neglected. So that's it for today's video. I really hope आपको mental health care act clear हुआ है, you understood some of the provisions. As much as the mental health care topic is important, it's important for us to discuss, it is important for us to be aware. So I would request you to please share the video with your friends, with your family members, with everybody you can, and make them aware about that we have an act about mental health care and it's no more a stigma. It is important that we discuss, it is important that we debate, and it is important that we learn about it, and every day is a good day to learn. So and it's important to share the video as well. And as we always say, till then, stay home, stay safe, and keep learning.